Bees making you iron, that's kind of basic. That's kind of boring. What we want is we want them to work for us. We want them to be our slaves. We want to squeeze every ounce of effort we can out of these bees just for our personal benefits. So let's figure that out. First, I think the best step is redoing this because bees in a line, not the coolest, not the greatest. What we need is bee towers. We're gonna matrix this. Now, to really start our bee empire, truly start it, is there's a couple of things we need. What we need is some simulation upgrades. What simulator upgrades are going to let us do is they will let it so bees don't have to leave their hives to, bee stuff. They don't have to leave their hives to harvest honey. They don't have to leave their hives to make comb. They just produce it, and it simulates the trip that they make. And I want to make sure I can make enough simulator upgrades for all of my beehives because we don't want any bee to be free. We want all of them to be under our control. We want every single one to be producers for us. I'm going to make some anti-teleport upgrades because we need these for the thing. And with these, we ran out of honey blocks. The fun thing about this mod is you can use any kind of honeycomb. So if I want to use zombie bee honeycomb blocks instead, I can. I'm cool like that. Any of them work. Okay, now that we have 7, another thing we'll need with the simulators is a feeding slab. Since they don't come out and harvest flowers, they still need their blocks that they need to flower. So you put it in front of the hive on a feeding slab so it saves them the trip and you can simulate it instead. So let me make a bunch of these. Okay, there we go. Now that I have 7 of them, now that we have our bee towers, all I can do is make sure that the front is facing in the right direction and you place the feeding slabs in front of them and you shift click. You should be able to shift click. I guess the slot's right there for the upgrade. I counted right. Sweet. Okay, so now I need to make sure I put the right blocks in the feeding slab that the bees need. So I'm going to do 1 for each bee that's in here. So this needs prosperity bee, which is this thing, in this feeding slab. And it also needs just a regular flower. And you can kind of see. It's on the feeding slab. It's kind of hard to see from this one. So now for some of the other upgrades that we're going to need, I want to get the block upgrade, and I also want to get the productivity omega upgrade, which is going to be a little complicated to craft, so I might have to settle for something a little less than that, but that is okay. Now there's stars. Oh my god. So let's start with the basic productivity upgrade and the block upgrade, which, if you notice, we need draconic dust, so I need a special kind of bee, the draconic bee. So I guess let's go kill the ender dragon real quick, because I need bottles of dragon's breath. I guess it's a good thing to keep in mind that when you make the obsidian nest, it does use up your diamond sword. Okay, so I was being a little bit of a stupid. You actually need these expansion boxes to put up to get upgrades in them. But that's okay. I thought I was forgetting something, and I was. That just means our bee towers can be even bigger. So what you do with an expansion box, I don't know if it needs to match, but you put it on top or even to the side of your regular bee nest, and it lets you have 5 bees and upgrade slots. So now that we have what we need, we can actually start spawning a bunch of these draconic bees. I'm going to try and just use all of these, make all of its cooldown, or make it all go to as little time as possible with what I have. And now we just wait. I'm going to put a bunch of these bees in here. I only have 5 of them. Or I have 2 more, but I guess I only have 1 dragon egg for right now, so I need to make sure that they can all feed off of it. And now, given a little bit of time, they should start to produce a bunch of honeycomb. And from that, we can get what we need for the upgrades. So I will be back in a sec. So I learned a couple of things. One, you have to put the feeding slabs lower, 1 block lower, not right in front of the things. Secondly, I don't know why it's not working when I stack them on top of each other, but it just isn't, so I didn't do that. And I made them just these, which they look pretty cool, especially if I alternate, which I totally should alternate them. But yeah, so I've been getting a bunch of draconic dust, and I've been working through these a bunch. Where is it? Yeah, here's even more.
all you have to do is put it in your centrifuge, and then you can get this. And with this, what we can do is we can combine it into our better chunks. And it's exactly what we need for these. So let's make a bunch of these. With the 3 that we do have, I'm going to put it purely in our draconic stuff, or with our draconic bees, because we need a lot more dust than I thought. So for the next little bit, it's just going to be sitting and grinding for this. Quick update, I got the productivity beta upgrade, and I got a block, so now it produces whole blocks instead of just combs. And I'm going to do this real quick, just so it's even better. What this should be doing is it should take all of the items out of this and put it straight into the... Yep, there it is. It's putting it straight into that. And then from here, I can pump it right into an under chest, which is with the right colors, it links right to my ME system, and it just goes straight in. And now the only issue we have is the honey bottles and other things that'll come in with these that can't go into the centrifuge. And with that, I can just, boop, fixed, problem solved, kinda. But for now, I'm just going to manually take out the honey bottles because it's really not that much, and I think it's kind of worth it. I'll see you guys when, I guess, all of these have really good upgrades, maybe, and I'm going to work on getting a bunch of bees and just expanding this because, you know, an empire, this is nowhere near an empire. But this is starting to look like an empire now. Now, I think I've gotten enough bees. I don't know why they're all coming out of the hole. They like to flower down here. But, okay, hold on. I'm going to bring them all down here. Oh, come on, my bee army. Are you ready to be enslaved for the rest of your lives? Come on down. Thank you. But yeah, I think this is an empire. I even got a little area back here. It's the basic, exact same setup as before. It's just basic wiring all around to my... I got all the bees from upstairs in here. I think the hive looks honestly amazing. I built this all myself, and I'm proud of that. There's flowers down here, so they actually flower. At least the ones out here. And I'm going to open this up at some point. I don't know how to make it so bees won't fly out. I'll probably have to get, like, filters. But that's okay, because I feel like it's pretty cool. But yeah. Now this is an empire. And I'll see you guys next time.